everybody, it's Debbie, and I'm here with another junk journal, another one that I made a while ago that I never got around to finishing because I didn't know what kind of closure I wanted to put on it. I tried doing the seam binding with a button so that the seam binding would wrap around and then flip around the, this is actually a bottle cap that I put a fleur-de-lis in on top of a button that's under here, but I didn't like it. It just didn't seem to work for me, so another one that sat for the longest time till I could figure out what to do. So I've seen so many people use the Tim Holtz hitch posts as closures. Well, the stores around here don't carry them. So anyway, I finally ordered them online and they came a couple weeks ago, and so I finally figured out what to do with this one. I have the hitch post here and I have some of this yarn. It's really cool. It's almost like it's knitted already, but it comes in a big bolt. Anyway, so I put that through, have an eyelet here, and tied a bow. So if it gets chunkier, it can be let out and it'll have room. So this is a napkin that I got from Sarah Elliott, who is Sarah Elliott on YouTube. And she sent me this napkin and I Mod Podged it onto, I'm not sure if it's a file folder. No, it's Craft-Tex, sorry. Yeah, I Mod Podged it onto Craft-Tex, and it really changed the color a little bit of the napkin, and I just love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. So that's why I thought this yarn would work, because of the color of the leaves and that. So I didn't really do too much decorating on here. I did do a bit of glossy accents here and some heat embossing here. I used this Stampendous Shabby Pink. It's gorgeous. I just love it. So I got to start using more of that stuff. And Cheryl's the one from Deli Girl 1961 who does this a lot. So every time I watch one of her videos, I'm like, I've got to do that because I've got so many embossing powders. It's like, get them used. Okay, so I didn't do anything on the cover, the front cover. I've got a whole Mod Podge of papers in here. I've got, this is Tsunami Rose. I've got a few of her in here, and I've got a lot of Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Well, no, not a lot. Most of what I used in here is paper that I've got in my stash that I've had forever. There's some Graphic 45, DCWV. But, okay, so anyway, this is the flip up, like Rita Donnelly does, and like I said, Tsunami Rose, and this is an envelope that I've glued onto that page, made a tuck spot, and then this is Graphic 45 paper here. I just figured I gotta start using, I've got so much paper. So that's a pocket. And there's lace on here. And there's 3 tags and journaling cards here. This is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then a tag in here. And don't you love the doily mark on the coffee dyed paper? I do. I have to invest in some more doilies because I think I'm running low because I'm using them all to do this to my papers. I did a lot of layering with bits and pieces of some of the papers that I've got in my stash. A lot of little quote things I cut up and used them in layering. This is one of the butterflies from the napkin that I used on the front. Botanical tea, that's Graphic 45. And there's some stamps. And then this is a miniature domino. I made these, 2 or 3 years ago. Size children pictures to put on them and then use glossy accents, but I never did much with them, so I thought, okay, they're going in here. And this is a tuck spot. Yeah, there is a tag back there. It's just stuck a bit. And then there's some cheesecloth, some eyelash trim, and a flat back bling piece, and a little tiny maple leaf. And that's graphic 45 too. And then this is parchment. It's really dark because this was on the bottom rack in the oven when I was coffee dyeing paper, and it always gets darker. And a tag. And this is an altered, I almost said clothespin, altered paper clip. And there's a wine glass and a little heart, some tickets. And this is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then I've got, on this side, I've got a tag that I made. And then this bookmark I've had for a long time. It's the Footprints poem. So that's in here too. This is going to be mine. I had planned on keeping it right from the beginning for me. And I've decided I'm going to use it in the challenge that Debbie's having over at Ephemera's Vintage Garden at the Vintage Junk Journals. It's a challenge to write memories, daily memories from something that you remember long, long time ago. Or even recent, anytime. Well, yeah, at my age, remembering recent is harder than remembering distance. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to use this for. So here's a doily that I've layered and another quote. And a tuck spot with some lace, and this is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is paper I had in my stash. This was a big pad that I bought. It's a lot of party, like birthday, and then the hearts here. So this says Say Something Journaling Cards and Labels, and that's these ones here from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And these are, I think, the Take Me Away. And these were freebies that she had given out. Another tuck spot, another one from Debbie. And a big journaling page. And this says, there are hundreds of languages in the world, but a smile speaks them all. Love it. And another layered doily with some more quotes. I think the quotes, it wasn't planned to use this for that, but I think the quotes would be really cool. And then these, I've got a bunch of these tags in here that have quotes. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I think the quotes will go well for the purpose of the journal. And then I've had this organza bag in there. It's got butterflies on it. I've had that for a long time. So I put this in behind, and then that's on this pocket I made out of parchment paper. And another tag. I'm getting tired. This is what, the fourth video I've made today. And there's a tuck spot there. It's from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And a big tag for journaling. Come on, get down there. From Ephemera's Vintage Garden as well. And this piece of paper went kind of wonky. I don't know what happened. But oh well, it's just for me. And there's a tuck spot made out of some scrap paper I had. And then when my daughter's 40th birthday was happening, for her birthday party, we were making a slideshow of all her old pictures when she was little, right up to now. And I was going through all my photos. I have a Deacon's bench full of photos. So I started throwing out any duplicates, and it took me a week to go through all the pages. Anyway, I found all these envelopes inside the envelope that the pictures came in back in the day when we used to get pictures developed. And this is what the negatives were stored in. So I thought, well, they would work really well. So I've got a whole whack of them saved. I think they make cute little pockets. And then here's another one from Debbie, and there's lace on that tuck spot, and an index card. And then that lace and tuck spot are holding this, which it just keeps opening up. I went kind of crazy. I think this idea I got from Cheryl at Deli Girl 1961. So there's a tag in there, and then there's a couple in here. Our story begins with love. So I think in this area I'm going to have to write a memory of my husband and I. And then there's our tea-dyed organza bag here, and a lot of lace. So I really like that page. And here's a paper clip. Here's another bookmark with a scripture from Timothy, to Timothy. And that's a altered paper clip. And these, I have a die for these flowers here, so I made a couple flowers in this book. And another quote. And this is from Tsunami Rose. I just matted it on some cardstock to make it a little stronger. And I matted some scrap paper on the envelope so that it's a little stronger too. It's from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And some scrap paper. A little envelope in there with another quote. And here's another one of Cheryl's. And I'll put the link to her tutorial for this because they're really easy to make, and they're so effective. They're really awesome in your journals. I'm sure everybody's probably seen it though, but just in case. So Take Me Away, that's the name of these cards from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. But it makes a cute little tuck spot. Some more hearts. And our altered paper clip. This is a lace trim that I had. And so I tea-dyed some of that. And that's a butterfly with some tickets. And that's the other side of Debbie's, or no, this is from Debbie, Ephemera's Vintage Garden. This is the other side of the pocket that I got from Cheryl. I think that's graphic 45s. And I'm pretty sure that's Tsunami Rose. Really pretty. Enjoy the little things in life. Oh, I'm going to have to mat that. It's curling and it's got a rip in it. And there's an envelope and tuck spot. And here's some more layering. Tea Party from Graphic 45. And dance as if no one were watching. Sing it as if no one were listening. Live every day as if it's your last. Everybody knows that and loves that. Their story begins with love again. And this is Tsunami Rose. Library cards. And then that goes down, and that tucks in there and helps keep it down. and just a layered tuck spot with a flat back billing, and then this Friends, it's a metal piece I got from Michael's. That's a tuck spot. More layering, another flower that I made, another piece of the butterfly from the napkin. Beautiful you. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And here's another envelope where the flap is the tuck spot on one side, and then the envelope opens up, and there's a mini book in here. And Scrap Fest Marketplace. That was a scrap fest, obviously, in Kitchener. That was, holy cow, a year and a half ago. That was the wristband that we got to wear. Things like that I'm kind of nerdy about keeping. It just brings back kind of good memories. And this is Snammy Rose as well. And a little tuck spot here. And then, I don't know how many people are like me, but I'm always searching around for a pen when I'm wanting to journal. I mean, I have them everywhere, but I can never seem to find the one I want. So I took a piece of lace and made a pen holder, and I made sure it was tight enough so that the rubber finger piece would keep it from sliding right through, and it just went underneath this tuck spot. But I saw somebody do that, and I can't remember because, again, I made this so long ago. I think it was, I'm not even sure. I made it so long ago that I can't remember where I got my ideas, or even if I'm saying whose papers they are right. I gotta start making videos when I do it, but I wasn't finished, and I mean, I don't even have a charm on here. I always make charms for my journals. So I'm gonna have to make one, and I'll probably put it right there. I think right there would be perfect. Anyway, that's my journal. I'm gonna use it for the November challenge of remembering my life. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.